Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy Cam here, and today I'm super excited. I plan on seeing how much I can read while I work. So this past week, I've read a book, started 2 books, and I plan on finishing one of them today because it's a novella. I have a tendency to work, come home, go to sleep, don't do anything. So the fact that I even read one book, which was 140 something pages, but it was a poetry book, is kind of an accomplishment if you ask me personally. I think it was really good for me to have even read like 10 pages. So on Tuesday, I read a poetry book by Tristan Tells, which they actually do short videos based around some of these poetries. So it is called The Curious Collection of Cautionary Tales. I gave it 5 stars and I loved it. I recommend it. It's a really quick, cute read. It's just a bunch of poetries. It's really nice. I loved it. I would love to own the physical version of this, but I did read that on Kindle Unlimited. Tomorrow is June 1st and I am super excited. I want to finish Snow Globe, which I started last month, and then I got some other books on my TBR list that I want to get through. I am going to be out tomorrow, so I don't know how much reading I'll actually get done. I'm going to be going to this warehouse thing with my friends, so maybe I'll give you a little haul when I come back, but I am super excited. So basically, this vlog is going to be a week in the life vlog, but mostly maybe a week and a half, but mostly me trying to see if I can read while working. So I do bindery work. I glue things, I tape things, I knock holes out of things. I recently upgraded to the plaque, so that's interesting. I've been die cutting things, that's cool. Also, love that my job lets me hold sensory toys as well as wear earmuffs. It's really great to be able to wear my headphones. So I've been working, coming home, trying to read, even if I have to take a little power nap before I read and go to bed. But I am excited to see how much I can read next week because I want to get into the routine of doing more than one thing a day. You know what I mean? Like, come on. Who doesn't want, like, your whole life shouldn't be work, you know? So I want to try and become one with my identity of who am I? Who am I? I'm a reader, but how much do I read? Reading one book makes you a reader, but I don't know. So I'm excited, and I thought I would take you guys along with this challenge of me trying to read every day after work, or at least read one book while working. And I got Snow Globe. I have the physical book. I started it last month, or well, this month, May. But by the time tomorrow comes, it will be last month. I started Snow Globe. It's really great. I am on part 2 of the book, and I bought the audiobook for the book so it would go smoother, because I think picking up the physical book is what is daunting me. So like what I have read all last week was on my phone or my Kindle, my phone, but I also own a Kindle. Because it's easy. At 2 a.m. I could just roll over and go like, I can't go to sleep and read. So I want to do more reading. So thank you for coming along on this journey, and let's see what I do for the rest of this time. Lame. Welcome to the jump scare. Also, look at the cute little panda that I got Saturday? Yes, Saturday. So Sunday, Saturday, did no reading. Monday, which was yesterday, I read 6 books. So there are 6 short stories that I did audibles of, and I plan on doing some today. I got out of work and now I am ready to relax. My plan is to listen to an audiobook while I play the Wii, because I think that will be most fun. But I do have a Kindle book as well as a physical book that I am reading. So yesterday I read the first chapter of Escape, which I received the ARC of this weekend. It comes out July 1st, and I do plan on finishing that before July 1st. It is the second book to the last book I read in a reading vlog, which was Elimination. It's by Nikki Haas. I plan on reading it, and I really don't know how to describe it without giving away what happens in the first book. So think about it as mutant military children that can harness the elements. That's all I got so far. I've literally only read the first chapter. And then I read one chapter yesterday, physically on the Kindle, and then I listened to one chapter of Snow Globe. Then I had to go to lunch, and I realized maybe listening to this book is not the best at work, because I had no idea it was lunchtime. I was just doing my job, listening to this book, and I'm like, maybe I should listen to something that I can stop listening to for 5 or 6 seconds. So instead, I listened to The Boys, Deep and Deeper. It's basically an ad. I had no idea it was a free book. I just clicked it, listened to it. It is a podcast for this character Deep from The Boys. Never watched The Boys. Don't know, do not like Deep. Great production quality. A lot of the reviews said this is cringy. If you like the show, great. If you don't, no. So those were the reviews on that. Wish I would have read those before I listened to it. Then I listened to the Untold Mysteries of Nature. I wish it was longer. We learned about fish falling from the sky in 2004. We learned about frogs and the mutations and how there is no understanding on why some of these frogs have mutated in America. It's really cool. Wish it was longer. Would love to have learned more about these things, and I'm sure I can and I will, but not while listening to this book. So that was about a 35-minute long book. Deep and Deeper was about an hour and a half. Then I listened to The Road to the Sea, which is about an hour and a half, and it's really good. I do recommend it. I gave it 4 stars. I loved it. It was really nice, really intriguing. I loved the way the story was told. I loved the idea of what will come in the future, what will be our future, and how will future society see our past. It was really cool. And then the only reason it's not like a 5-star is it's probably supposed to be open-ended, but I have no idea what that end like 30 seconds. Like, I don't know what that last 2 minutes of that was. Like, did he go? Did he stay? Was I supposed to know? I feel like I was supposed to know, which is why I don't like that I don't know. I even like rewinded it and listened to it twice, and I still am like, listen to it. It's short, it's a classic, I recommend it. Then I got off of work. I came home and I wasn't listening to anything, and then I listened to some like really short, like 15-minute stories. Listened to The Legend of the Vampire, mermaids. It's just a collection of facts about like these mythical creatures. It was a nice little read. And then I listened to a retelling of Odysseus and the Cyclops. Great. No notes. It's just in Cyclops, so you can only tell it so many times, so many ways. It was 15 minutes. I needed something to listen while I played a game, so I didn't fall asleep. And then today I haven't listened to anything because I was so focused on counting and rechecking my work that I didn't want to distract myself. So I have The Lost Stone saved, which is 35 minutes and 10 seconds. Then I have The Messengers, which is an hour and 20 minutes, and then I have Snow Globe on audio and physical, like a hardback copy of this book. So I do plan on reading some. It will probably be Escape if I can't listen to anything, but I am excited that yesterday I read a lot for somebody who is working, and normally I don't read. So I hope to keep it up today. I also want to cut my hair, so we'll see. what is with me and wet hair? So I did an undercut. You're bouncing, so if you move around, I apologize. It is the next day, so it is the 5th. I am gonna journal the 2 books, but I don't really have much to say about them. So I listened to one audiobook yesterday, The Lost Stone, The Kingdom of Winley. It's a kid's book. It was cute, it was sweet, it was short, it was like 35 minutes long. Then today I listened to the 5th book in that series because it was the only free one, and I really didn't want to pay a credit for a 35-minute long kids book. I liked it. It was cute, it was sweet, it was fun. Both of them were easy listens and cute. It's about friendship and exploring the world around you. I loved it. To The Secret of the Hidden Scrolls, The Great Escape. I don't know which book in that series it is, but I DNF'd it because I started listening to it and then I realized it was retellings of Bible stories. I didn't want to listen to a retelling of a Bible story while I was at work. I then listened to The Great Menace, which was a podcast style book. It was about 45 minutes long. I had it on 1.5 speed, so I think it was 45 minutes sped up, or it was only 16, 17 minutes sped up, but either way, it was too long. I loved the idea. So the thought is that it is a producer and the lead actor coming together for a interview for the director's cut. They're rewatching the movie and they're doing commentary on it for the director's cut. And I don't know, I don't understand. I don't know, maybe I'm too dumb, but some other people said that great idea, bad execution. But the acting, subpar. 5 out of 5 for that performance. I really did like the voice actors for that, and if I really did. Then I do have to say the next book I listened to, I believe, was Bunny-O, and I stopped listening to it halfway through. I didn't exactly DNF it, I just stopped listening to it. 37 minutes and 13 seconds left out of what I listened to, so I listened to probably 10 minutes of it. That's all I gotta say. I don't know what to say about it. That's all I got for you. Just a whole lot of Okay, so I also listened to another audiobook, The Tales and Tales of Crows. Tales and Tales of Crows, An Artist's Take, which I apparently listened to another book before that. But the last audiobook I listened to was Tales and Tales of Crows, An Artist's Take, which I gave 4 stars because there was no reviews. If there was more reviews, I would not have reviewed it. It was good. It was nice. It was a bunch of short stories about crows, whether it be directly related to crows or directly related, or there is a crow in the background. It is about just a connection this woman has with crows and an artistic view of it, and I enjoyed it. I did not expect to be having an existential crisis in the middle of there about, should I be a crow in life? Should I accept that I am a crow? Should I be a crow? Okay, was not expecting that, but it was really good. I also read Feedback. I just remembered. It wasn't bad. I just forgot I read it, so was it memorable? I don't know. But it's Feedback. It's a time travel story. It was really sweet. It was 31 minutes. I really liked it. The ending, I loved it. The ending was kind of funny. A lot of people didn't really like it when I was looking at the reviews. I gave it 5 stars. Loved the narration. Loved the story. I do recommend it. I'm sorry that there's not much content other than me talking about these books. But I do want to say that I never got around to showing you guys some of the things that I got when I went to the warehouse. So I wanted to show you the 2 books I found, the only 2 books that I found there that wasn't Bibles, and this one is my favorite. It is The Elves and the Otter Skin. The back tag is The Reluctant Hero, and my favorite tag is this right here. They needed a hero, instead they got Ivor. Anyway, I'm excited for this book. If I wasn't in the middle of another book, I'd probably pick this up. And there's nothing theoretically stopping me from picking this up other than the fact that this is like a super small text. And the fact that I want to feel accomplished and finish a book. Like, obviously I finish short stories and there's nothing wrong with that, but I wanted to finish a physical book and I started this. So another thing that I found was these 4 books in one. They're all thrillers and I don't really see these anymore. Select editions, 4 exciting mysteries. So you have No Time for Goodbye, Daddy's Girl, Thunder Bay, and I heard that song before. And then on the inside it has a description for all 4, which I thought was nice. So my camera died the other day and it's been charging, but it's 2 days later. I'm gonna run through what I read, and I do want to say I know this hasn't been the most like vlog style of book, but I hope you are still enjoying it. So I do want to say that I have been periodically listening to Snow Globe, but it's one of those books where I feel like it would be much better if I physically read it, because there's so many things going on that I want to give it my full attention. I think it deserves that. I have 5 hours left in the audiobook, so I don't know how much I will get through of this, but that's 1 full day of work if I listen to audiobooks. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I didn't last time I worked. This time I have been all week just because I've been working alone. I listened to Snow Globe a little bit. I've listened to 2 chapters or a chapter and a half, and each time I was like, okay, I need to listen to something else because I want to give it my full attention. These short stories have actually pushed me from being behind on my reading challenge to being 10 books ahead of schedule. Isn't that right, Nightwing? Nightwing could care less what I have to say. I think the last books I've listed was Weird Venice, so I'm going to go from there, and I hope that I'm not oversharing. So I also listened to 2 books that were in the Nicholas Flux story. So one was the assassination, or Tracking an Assassin, and one was Defending Until Death. Both of those are historical events. He can sporadically jump back in time. He doesn't know when or where he's going to end up, and he doesn't know when he's going to come back, but it was nice. It was cute. It was a nice little history lesson, and they give you flux facts, which are actual historical facts based off of that, and that was cool. I really enjoyed it. These are out of order from how I listened to them because for some reason Goodreads doesn't know how to line them up properly, but I'm gonna try my best. I believe then I listened to another kid's book just because I was starting a new job and I wanted to make sure I wasn't gonna mess it up. So I listened to Fairy Mermaid Magic, Fairy Mom and Me. It's a kid's book. No comment. It's a kid's book. I listened to The Old Mountain Biker, a sci-fi story not from Earth. It is the first in a 2-story book. It's just about an alien encounter and what comes of it and what will happen in the next coming books. I really liked it. Also, why am I sitting like this? I'm sitting like I'm giving you a presentation. Like, hello, how are you? Welcome. I'm so sorry. But I really liked it. I want to read the next book, but I don't know if I'm going to spend a credit on the next book, if that makes sense. Like, I share my audiobook with my parents, so you know. I also listened to A World Without. That was really interesting. I don't know how to explain the concept without giving it away, but science fiction, I recommend reading it. I love it, and there's even a little twist at the end. It's really cool. There is foreshadowing, and I didn't even see that coming. I didn't even think about that, but that was really cool. I loved it. You have The Cosmic Curveball, which is about a bunch of people playing baseball, but in science fiction. You have aliens and earthlings playing. It's cool. I loved it. It had a lot of science mumbo jumbo that I don't know about, because is it make-believe or is it actual theorized science? I don't know. But it was in it, and it was good. I also listened to the Dragonfly Kabbalah. I liked it. It was a spiritual journey. This is the same author who wrote the Crow book that made me think maybe I want to be a crow. So I didn't even realize it was the same author until I got halfway through the book, and I'm like, this is similar writing. And it was similar writing because it was the same author. But I liked it nonetheless. It was a nice short read. I think it was about 35 minutes, maybe even less. The average time of the books that I read on Thursday were from 30 minutes to 45 minutes, but on average closer to 35 for all of them. And then I listened to, gosh, I listened to so many books. Okay, I listened to Monster Hunter, which is about a group. So this is a part of a series where these kids are born with dragon birthmarks, and turns out they can turn into dragons, and they must find each other. So this is the first story in the series, I believe. There's 4 books in the series. One of them is not an audiobook, but 3 of them are. Monster Hunter is the first one, I believe. Don't hold me to it. The second one, I believe, is not on audiobook, and the other 2 are. Monster Hunter was nice, cute. It was nice, sweet, to the point. It's a kid's book. I don't really feel comfortable reviewing a kid's book the way I would other books, but it was nice, it was sweet. Then you have The Siren, the museum story. I've never read The Museum. I will say, for my taste, it was odd. I feel like maybe if I read the big story, I didn't realize it wasn't a short story. I didn't realize there was bigger books to it when I read it. I learned that after the fact. So maybe if I would have read The Museum and the second book in the series, this would have made more sense and it wouldn't have been odd. It's not my cup of tea. That's all I have to say. Then you have a Currency Control. Reading the title, I don't remember, but seeing the image, I do remember. It was a very short story. I want to say 15 minutes, maybe a little less. I literally just clicked it on for the last minutes of work, so I wouldn't be sitting in silence while I finished my job. It was about a gamer who fights the evil inside of technology. It's good. It's nice. I listened to The Pillars, which was the beginning of, it's a prequel to the Battle of Agloria. I really hate, so it is a prequel, and I am aware that it's wanting you to read the main story, but it felt like it ended mid-sentence. The ending just didn't feel right. I know you want me to read the next book in your series, but the way it ended kind of irritated me that I don't want to pick up your next books. Because if you're willing to end a prequel mid-sentence, I can only imagine how you end the main books. That's a personal opinion. It was nice. It's science fiction. It is underground mining. You have aliens. You have heroics. Why would I make a word for that? Okay, there's already a word for that. It's heroics. I feel like Thursday's reviews are very bland compared to every other day. The last book I read on Thursday was Abina and the Bridesmaid Sorcerer. It's basically a story about family, so I don't know how to describe it without giving it away, but it is about 3 sisters taking care of each other, basically, in a sense, from mass evil on the outside. It was good. 10 out of 10. I do recommend that one. I really did enjoy it, and I really enjoyed the fact that each sister had their own personality instead of just being bland people that blend into each other, especially for a short story. Sometimes it's hard to get character background, so I thought that was nice. On Friday, I only listened to audiobooks in the morning, and I listened to the other 2 books in the Dragon Blood series that I was just telling you about. I listened to Fangs in the Mirror and the Dragon with the Girl Tattoo. They both were nice. They were really good. I actually liked them, and I kind of wish there were longer stories to it. But I don't know if the 2 authors even plan on doing that. So on Goodreads, there's only 1 author listed, Michael Dahl, while on Audible, there's 2 authors listed, and I'm gonna go look that up. On audiobook, it also has Luigi Ami. I think that's how you say that, listed as an author. Also listened to Flying Starships, which, if you did not know, I am a film lover. I've always wanted to be in the film industry. I have a certificate in film production and a minor in film studies because my major was in theater management. And then I also love Star Trek. I feel like saying that is redundant if you've been on this channel long, but if you haven't, hi. I am a collector of Star Trek things. So listening to Flying Starships, I had no idea what I got into. I just googled Star Trek and downloaded the free ones. This was one, and I knew it wasn't going to be a Star Trek story. I just didn't know what it was going to be. This is basically Ronald Ward talking about his experience working special effects on the Star Trek series from Generation the movie, as well as working on Voyager and a few others. I believe he also worked on the Next Generation. He talks about his experience through that and what behind the scenes look like, what you need to be prepared for. He also talks about getting into Hollywood. He also talks about the union and how times have changed. This book, I believe, came out around 2012. He said the last project he worked on was one of the Twilight books. So I was in middle school in that time frame. So times have changed since he left the union, but that doesn't matter. Because it's still really good insight. He talks about how to get into the industry. He talks about how you need to be prepared to be perceived always as what you were hired, even if you move up in a group. He talks about working at Paramount with Warner Brother. He talks a lot about other shows that he's also been in towards the end. So the first half is all Star Trek. He talks about conventions. He talks about his job behind the scenes. He talks about special effects that they did and how it would be cool to recreate it. He talks about models. And then the second half, he talks about his journey into the business, what he does. He talks about college. He talks about his intro to the business. He talks about the union, and then he talks about the end, just an overall overview of everything. And I found it really, really interesting. It was 4.5 hours long. It was a very nice read, and I highly recommend it. And I'm sorry, I'm laughing at my cats right now. I give it 4 stars because as a book talking about what it's like working in the film industry, it kind of irritates me to no end that they chose to use a virtual voice instead of a voice actor, when I think every part of the film industry should support other parts of the industry. I love the insight. I thought it was very helpful as well as very intriguing to see just all what comes in the background, because he literally lays out everything from pre-production, production, and after production. I don't know what that talks about. He even explained what first unit and second unit was, which I thought was interesting because I have been in film classes, but nobody ever talked about that kind of setup. And I wish I physically owned this. I did not read a lot. I did start a book and then immediately pause it. It was another 3.5 hour long book. It's short stories of science fiction by the Shadow Collective. I didn't get through that. I didn't even get through the first one for no particular reason. My coworkers just started talking to me, and I'd rather talk than listen to my audiobook. But I had a lot of fun with these audiobooks. I got like only one book read the week before, when I read a book on my phone, a poem book, and I literally thought that all of this was me reading like one chapter before I go to bed. Turns out I literally was just listening to books at work, and it was very useful and very helpful, and I really like it. I know this isn't a really vloggy video, more of a yappy yap video, and I hope you don't mind that. I just wanted to talk about each book that I read as a accomplished to me, because I feel like I accomplished something and I want to be able to look back and be like, hey, do you remember when you did that? That was really cool. Stuff like that. I know that everybody has their own personal opinions about audiobooks as well as their own personal opinion on short stories, but reading is reading nonetheless, so I am so excited that I ended up reading so many books. I read 26 books this week, and I think that's amazing. And I had a lot of fun doing this, finding books, listening to them. It was really cool. It was really fun. I did read some of Snow Globe as well as some of Escape, and I do plan on finishing that book. I am gonna go, and I will see you guys in the next video. I want to know, do you read during the weekdays? Do you read at, like, do you listen to audiobooks at work? Do you read on your lunch break? Do you read like throughout the week, or just on days you don't work? Because typically I think it'd be easier for me to read on days I don't work, but what would I accomplish? Because I have a tendency to come home and cut my brain off. So I'm super excited that I did this, and I had a lot of fun. So I will see you guys next time. Like this video if you did. If you want to see more content, I have some eclectic collection of videos on my channel, from Comic-Cons, reading vlogs, and other miscellaneous thing, but mostly reading and book related content at this moment, and I am having a lot of fun doing so. So thank you for watching, and I appreciate it. So peace out, rock on, love you, don't forget to grow your wings, fly, touch the sky, make sure everyone knows your name. Love from my screen to yours. Bye, my little buff eyes. Cameron out.